Gravel roads. Some hate them, some avoid them. I love them. Back in 2012, when I rode the Trans-Labrador Highway on my 1972 Moto Guzzi Eldorado, most of it was still unpaved. Roughly 1,000 kilometers of gravel and dirt. Fabulous. Since then, much of it has been paved, but it gave me the appetite for more gravel road exploration. These days, all my trips seem to end up on gravel roads, and it doesn't seem to matter what bike I'm riding. Some handle well in loose gravel. The Eldorado, Nuovo Falcone and Convert are all equally manageable. Some are pigs like the Suzuki Cavalcade. But if you match your riding to the capabilities of the bike, and don't pretend you're on the Paris-Dakar, it's possible to roll along quite comfortably. I'd be the first to admit that the Suzuki Cavalcade isn't the ideal bike for gravel roads. It's a huge pig of a bike, but it was what I was riding at the time, and it surprised me with the ease with which it handled the loose gravel. It's no KLR or GS, of course, but it got the job done. So what is it about these unpaved roads that I find so appealing? Well, I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps it's the endless sense of isolation and remoteness they convey. Perhaps it's the challenge of keeping the bike upright mile after mile, as riding these roads certainly requires your full attention. Or perhaps it's because the places I want to go only exist along unpaved roads. Places where there's no other sound of human activity, where, when you switch off, the only noises are those of the natural world, the insects buzzing, the riffling of water, the gentle rustling of leaves. Winter lingered this year. This is what March looked like when I was out riding, so you can imagine I wasn't going to be finding any gravel roads that probably hadn't been ploughed. But this is 2021, our second year of travel restrictions and lockdowns, so this year's trips have all either been day trips or within a couple of days of home. Still, with a little careful map work, I was able to find a few back roads to explore. Some of these have been documented in my other videos, but here's a thumbnail sketch of some of them. In April, I took a brief spin up to the southern edge of Algonquin Park, only to be foiled in my desire to ride further by sloppy snow and unploughed roads. Oh well, it was lovely just to sit by the side of a pond for a few moments, to suck in the cool spring air and enjoy the quiet. If, like me, you actually prefer riding older bikes, you have to accept that sometimes things go wrong. I was out on a pleasant little trip. Well, I'll let the video clip do the explaining. If I turn the ignition on and hit the starter, I don't know if you can hear that faint click. There's just not enough power going through the solenoid to activate the starter. My own fault. I was running with the lights on, and of course on these roads I'm running so slowly that the generator isn't providing enough power to charge the battery. And I knew the battery was weak in this bike anyway, but well, you know how it is. You just sometimes don't fix the things that need to be fixed. So I'll just wait patiently here. I know Norm's on the way. I sent him a map.
and sooner or later he'll either give me a jump start, or he's bringing the trailer and we'll stick it on the trailer. No big deal, just a little frustrating. Ah, here's the cavalry.
It may seem counterintuitive, but the older the bike, the better it seems to handle unpaved roads. It's as if they were designed to be competent under all circumstances. Well, with the exception of high-speed highway riding, of course. This 1960 Panther does a perfectly capable job of trundling along these gravel backroads, and it does it in the most delightful and charming manner. It may not be the fastest, but its miles per smiles ratio is off the chart. I'll admit, I can be a little unwise occasionally, riding places where, if I have a spill, no one's likely to be along for hours, and if the bike breaks, it might be a long walk to find any assistance. But what's life without a little risk? It adds a little piquancy and enjoyment to the day. Honestly, most people are in far more danger on their daily commute to work than I am riding old bikes on empty Canadian roads. As you may have been able to detect from my voice, I wasn't born in Canada, although my UK friends assure me I've lost a little of my Britishness and gained a few North Americanisms in the 40 years I've been on this continent. I miss many things about Britain: the old buildings, the rolling farmscapes, the upland moors, the little hedge-lined byways. But I don't miss the traffic. If you viewed this and some of my other videos, you'll have noticed that other vehicles are few and far between. It's not from selective editing. It really is like this in the areas I choose to ride. I'm not trying to suggest that everyone should be out exploring unpaved roads, but it's a kind of riding I enjoy. Personally, I don't feel that having a bike specifically built to handle rocks, gravel and potholes would add anything to my pleasure. I'm not interested in ripping up the trail with my knobbly tires, throwing rooster tails in mud or grinding through swamps at high speed. I like plodding along, riding alone, and stopping often. It's not for everyone, but it works for me. I've written a number of books of my motorcycle travels, all of which are available in digital format and as paperbacks through Amazon, and as audiobooks narrated in my own snotty Brit voice through Amazon and Audible. They're cheap and entertaining. Thanks for watching.